After effective recruitment and selection, one of the most important ways that organizations can improve the effectiveness of their talent management systems is through the strategic use of onboarding. Onboarding is the process of helping new hires adjust to social and performance aspects of their new jobs quickly and smoothly. Onboarding needs to be a significant priority for human resource departments. According to recent data, more than 25% of the U.S. population experiences some type of career transition each year. Unfortunately, many transitions are not successful. Half of all hourly workers leave new jobs in the first 4 months, and half of senior outside hires fail within 18 months. Clearly, there's room for improvement. An important way leaders can combat these challenges is to implement robust employee onboarding programs. Onboarding helps new hires adjust to the social and performance aspects of their jobs so they can quickly become more productive, contributing members of the organization. Research and conventional wisdom both suggest that employees get about 90 days to prove themselves in a new job. Every organization has its own version of the complex process through which new hires learn attitudes, knowledge, skills, and behaviors required to function effectively. Academic researchers who study onboarding use the term organizational socialization. No matter what the terminology, the bottom line is that the faster new hires feel welcome and prepared for their jobs, the faster they'll be able to successfully contribute to an organization's mission. The formality and comprehensiveness of onboarding programs varies widely across organizations. Those considered best in class for onboarding have a more formal onboarding program. Approaches to onboarding range from quite structured and systematic to the sink or swim strategy, in which new employees often struggle to figure out precisely what's expected and understand the norms of their new workplace. One of the first things HR managers should consider is whether the organization is served best by informal or formal onboarding. Informal onboarding refers to the process by which an employee learns about his or her new job without an explicit organizational plan. Formal onboarding refers to a written set of coordinated policies and procedures that assist an employee in adjusting to his or her new job in terms of both tasks and socialization. The building blocks of successful onboarding are often called the 4 C's. Onboarding has 4 distinct levels as represented by these 4 C's. Let's take a look. Compliance is the lowest level and includes teaching employees very basic legal and policy-related rules and regulations. Clarification refers to ensuring that employees understand their new jobs and related expectations. Culture is a broad category that includes providing employees with a sense of organizational norms, both formal and informal. Connection refers to the vital interpersonal relationships and information networks that new employees must establish. The degree to which each organization leverages these 4 building blocks determines its overall onboarding strategy, with most firms falling into one of 3 levels. Let's take a look. Level 1. Passive onboarding. Almost all organizations naturally cover compliance as part of formal onboarding. For those organizations that engage in passive onboarding, or Level 1, some role clarification may be given, but neither culture nor connection is addressed. Some informal ways of guiding new employees in terms of culture and connection may have been developed over time, but no one, including HR staff, is coordinating the task to maximize onboarding success. If your organization is engaged in passive onboarding, you're likely to view onboarding as a checklist of unrelated tasks to be completed. Research shows that approximately 30% of organizations, large, medium, and small, work at this level. Passive onboarding can be functional, but it's certainly unsystematic. Level 2. High potential onboarding. When compliance and clarification are well covered by a firm's formal onboarding practices and some culture and connection mechanisms are in place, Level 2, high potential onboarding, has been reached. In these organizations, about 50% of firms, the complete process has not yet been established in a systematic way across the organization. The highest level 3, proactive onboarding. All 4 building blocks are formally addressed in Level 3, proactive onboarding. If your organization is systematically organizing onboarding with a strategic human resource management approach, you're at level 3. Only about 20% of organizations achieve this level, covering each of the 4 C's. Researchers have identified 4 major levers related to both job roles and social environment that organizations need to use to help new employees maximize their onboarding success. These 4 levers serve as essential elements to the successful onboarding equation. Let's explore the equation in more detail. The first lever for successful onboarding is self-efficacy, or self-confidence in job performance. To the degree that the new employee feels confident in doing the job well, he or she will be more motivated and eventually more successful than less confident counterparts. Organizations should target specific onboarding programs to help boost employee confidence as they navigate new organizational waters. Self-efficacy has been shown to have an impact on organizational commitment, satisfaction, and reduced turnover. A second task-related lever is role clarity, how well an employee understands his or her role and expectations. Performance will suffer if expectations are ambiguous. In fact, a study of employees in the United States found that businesses lose an estimated $37 billion each year as a result of employees not understanding their jobs. Therefore, role clarity is a good indication of how well adjusted a new employee is, and measuring role clarity can help organizations stop potential performance problems before they get worse, leading to poor job attitudes. If new employees say they understand their roles, they obviously indicate higher role clarity. Researchers have also studied role conflict in new employees, with lower role conflict indicating more positive onboarding outcomes. Overall, measures of role clarity are among the most consistent predictor of job satisfaction and organizational commitment during the onboarding process. Social integration is the third lever for successful onboarding. Meeting and starting to work with organizational insiders is an important aspect of learning about any organization. In addition, new employees need to feel socially comfortable and accepted by their peers and supervisors. Research has long found acceptance by peers as an indicator for adjustment. According to one estimate, 60% of managers who fail to onboard successfully cite failure to establish effective working relationships as a primary reason. Integration into one's work group is positively related to commitment and turnover. And high-quality relationships with leaders and other team members undoubtedly are related to favorable onboarding outcomes, including performance and job satisfaction. New employees should expect help from HR staff, but they can also formulate their own understanding of onboarding by actively building strong relationships. Useful tactics might include making time to engage in small talk with colleagues, arranging informal social interactions such as lunches or coffee breaks, participating in voluntary company functions, and trying to build a relationship with a supervisor by taking new responsibilities and successfully completing assignments. Knowledge of and fit with an organizational culture is the fourth aspect of onboarding. Every company has a unique culture, so helping new hires navigate the culture and their place within it is essential. Understanding an organization's politics, goals, and values, and learning the organization's unique language are all important indicators of employee adjustment, and down the line are associated with commitment, satisfaction, and turnover. Both the big things, like using a formal orientation program and a written onboarding plan, and the little things, like greeting a new employee warmly, taking him or her to lunch, and providing a functional workstation on day 1, matter in your onboarding program. The most important day on the job for a new employee is their first day. Research shows that the trajectory of a new hire's success is set as early as the first 2 weeks. It's important to make a first day special. Many hourly workers do not come back to work if the first day is disappointing. To get beyond the first day, review the list of organizational best practices for onboarding below. Let's take a look at some best practices for onboarding. Implement the basics prior to the first day of the job so that you're ready for your new employee. Make the first day special. Use formal orientation programs. Develop a written onboarding plan. Make onboarding participatory. Be sure your program is consistently implemented. Ensure that your program is monitored over time. Use technology to facilitate the process. Use milestones such as 30, 60, 90, and 120 days on the job, and up to 1 year post-organizational entry to check on employee progress. Engage stakeholders in planning, including key stakeholder meetings as part of the program, and be crystal clear with new employees in terms of their objectives, timelines, roles, and responsibilities as it comes to onboarding. Create an onboarding checklist as a guide for your onboarding plan that covers at minimum the first 90 days of employment. An onboarding checklist that covers up to the first year of employment might be appropriate for some organizations. As you craft your checklist, consider some of these ideas. Before the first day, have all the paperwork ready. There's tons of paperwork for a new hire: W-4, I-9, non-disclosure, non-competes. Consider HR software to help manage this process. Meet with their direct supervisor about roles, goals, and projects. Create a 30, 60, and 90-day plan for your new hire. What projects should be expected to be completed? What are the checkpoints? What knowledge should he or she have? Have the employee's workstation ready and waiting. Have the employee's workstation stocked with pens, paper, a computer, a list of contact information, and anything else that they might need to hit the ground running. Create a new hire checklist. This checklist may differ for each position you're hiring, but should include the basics. What tools will be best used on the job? What programs will be used to communicate with the team? What accounts need to be set up? Either have the accounts ready or have a list of the information that the employee needs to complete. What small projects or tasks should the individual start working on? Are there any required things to catch them up to speed? Who should they meet? What team members should they speak to? Now on to the first day, one of the most important days in an employee's career. Get your new employee ramped up. Ramp up your new hire with current ongoings at your company so that they can get to work right away. Get them producing work for you immediately, and they'll start feeling like they're already a contributing member of the team. Lay out your expectations. Have a list of goals and expectations for your new hire. What will they be doing? What are some basic responsibilities? What are your goals? What's expected at 30 days, at 60 days, or at 90 days? Impart your company's culture. While your new hire might have an idea of your company culture and value through your website and the selection process, it's important to discuss this in detail. Have projects ready for them to take on the first day. Give him or her projects that will keep them busy the first day and longer-term projects for the first week. As you get an understanding of how he or she works, help them ease into longer-term projects. Remember to provide them with someone to go to or a group of someones to go to for questions or comments, and make sure that you're available for resources as they need. Finally, beyond the first day, help the individual build their knowledge and foundation for growing in the organization. There's always a lot to learn when starting with a new company, so make it easy for them. Give them a list of learning material and training information that will be valuable for them. Also provide them with material that will set the foundation for their development within the organization. Socially integrate them into the team. It might be difficult for new employees to integrate themselves into the culture. They may need someone to stand with them and help them understand how everyone interacts. This is your job to make sure that the onboarding process is successful. Successful onboarding is a key part of any talent management strategy. With the high cost of recruiting, business leaders must understand that effectively integrating new hires into the organization is an important step to ensure their success. Understanding who owns the onboarding process as a whole and who controls various steps in the process is vital to onboarding success and sustainability over time. Simply writing down a formal plan will not help new employees succeed. The key is to engage important stakeholders and new employees in interactions to help them understand one another and how they'll interact over time. Used in conjunction with other HRM best practices, effective onboarding will result in faster learning curves for new hires, improved communication, and more productive and engaged workforce.